Let's start on our backs. And feel free to bend your knees if it's more comfortable for your back. And you can rest the knees together or out, or just have your legs straight if that's preferable. And if you're comfortable doing so, I invite you to close your eyes, helping to block out the external noise and try to tune in to the internal silence. And we can help foster that silence by bringing our attention to our breath, giving our mind something else to do besides incessant thinking. And you might start just by noticing how your breath is naturally, although perhaps just by turning attention to it, it has become unnatural, a little bit controlled, but do your best just to witness it without interference. And as you do this, you might notice if there are any parts in your body that are carrying tension. Often those places are so habitually tense that we're used to them feeling that way and we don't notice that they're tense. But maybe you can see or feel just that absence of ease, of freedom, somewhere in your body or perhaps several places. And then we can start deepening and lengthening the breath, letting the belly be soft and fill, continuing to inhale up into the ribs and all the way up into the chest. And then we'll engage a nice long exhale. And through this slow, long exhale, the body naturally relaxes, and you can see if any of those places that are holding tension can let go a little more. Breathing all the way in, deep and slow, and all the way out. Relaxing and letting go. So if you're just joining us, you can be on your back in any position that's comfortable for you. Really elongating that out breath to help foster that relaxation response. And then we'll lift the feet up to the height of the knees and curl the tailbone up just a little bit so that it feels like the lower back is pressing into the ground. And we're going to lower the feet one at a time. And as we do so, that low back is going to want to arch And you're going to use your abdominal muscles to press your back flat into the ground and not let it arch. As we lower one leg at a time, we don't bend the knee to lower the foot down. We do it from the hip and just alternating, keeping the tailbone curled up and the back pressing down. Use your breath to support the movement, to support the strength that's required for the movement. I like to inhale and lower my foot down and exhale up, but maybe something else works for you. The slower you go, the harder it is. And last one. Hug the knees into the chest. If your neck got tense at all during that, you can roll your head from side to side. Okay. And then we'll come back to center. Send the arms out to the sides. And you can leave your knees bent like this, or you can straighten them partly or all the way. The more you straighten them, the more challenging it'll be. And we're going to slowly lower the legs to the right, turning the head to the left. Don't let your feet or knees touch down. And then come up through center, inhale, exhale, other side. Turning your head away from your legs. And the next time the legs come down to the right, leave them there. And if the legs were straight, then you can bend your top leg and send your bottom leg straight down, or you can just keep both knees bent off to the side. And we'll roll the head to the left. And feel free to use your hand, your free hand, your right hand, to help bring that left leg down. And feel the breath again. See if it can be wide and tall. Reaching your chest. Relaxing that left shoulder down as you exhale. Sinking into your right hip bone. Relaxing through the torso. Okay, if you're in the position that I'm in with one leg straight and one leg bent, go ahead and bring the legs together again. If you're using the right hand, release it and lift the legs up and over to the other side. And again, you can stay here with both knees bent, pulling them up toward the chest, or you can straighten that left leg and drop the right knee down, turning the head to the right. Feel free to use your left hand. And if that knee is already on the ground and you want an adjustment, you can press your left hand to the top of your thigh and push it away just to kind of create a little more space there. Then you want to relax that left hip bone down into the ground. Go ahead and go to the other side because we've done that one already. So you'll get at least a couple of breaths on both sides. And then if you're using that left hand, release it. If your left leg is straight, bend it in. And then come into center, hugging the knees in. And lift the forehead up to the knees, making yourself into a tight little ball. And breathing in and expanding the back of your body. And then send the arms forward past your thighs. Straighten the legs out. And just see how much you can relax here. The legs are not on the ground unless you need them to be, if that feels more supportive. So we're not in this boat pose. We're down here, kind of lower. Good. And circle the feet around at the ankles. Other way. And then rest the legs down if they're not already there. Send the arms overhead. Take a deep stretch, long. And then bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet together. Bring the arms down alongside of you. Press into your elbows. Lift your chest and drop back onto the top of your head. Now, if you can and if you want, you can reach your hands under your thighs and around your shins. Pressing down into the elbows if that would be helpful.
to lift the back ribs and lift the chest. If you want to feel a little more open in the lungs, you can take the arms overhead, opening the shoulders, opening the side body more, deepening the breath. It's a great posture for the lungs. If the arms are on the shins or overhead, release and press down into the elbows. Lift your head, looking forward, and release down. Lift the feet in the air and take the hands around the bottoms of the feet and pull the feet in toward your belly. Send the knees away from you. Then we'll rock lengthwise on the spine, coming up to balancing on the sit bones without touching the feet to the ground. And then pull up and in on the feet, lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders back and down. And then release the feet down. Take the left hand to the right shin. Inhale the right arm up. And then exhale, lean it over to the left. Take your gaze up and to the right. Maybe if the eyes are open, you can close them and see a little more clearly how the breath is interrelating with the posture. Maybe you can deepen the breath and feel the movement that can happen as a result. And inhale up, exhale down, releasing that right hand to the left shin. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale over to the right, gazing up into the left, really holding on tight with that right hand so you can drop away from the hand. Filling up that open space with your breath. And inhale up, exhale down, bringing both hands to the ground. As you inhale, draw the fingers toward you, lift the chest. Exhale, bend the elbows, drop the chest, drop the head. Relax and pull the belly toward the spine. Feel the bone that moves from the shoulder to the elbow and release it down toward the ground. Feel the breath flowing up the length of the body. And as you let go of the breath, let go of the body. Walk the hands in, roll yourself up, reach the arms up, inhale, exhale, release down. And then cross the ankles, flip over your ankles onto hands and knees. So you're invited to pick the spinal movement that works for you. If you would like to keep it simple and just drop the belly, lift the chest and the eyes, taking a cow pose and then rounding for a cat pose, feel free to do that. If you want to bring your hands in front of you and exhale into downward dog, and then inhale to flip over your feet and curl the chest up and the shoulders back for upward dog. Feel free to do that. You can also add a chaturanga if you want, inhaling into plank, exhaling, lowering to hover above the ground, inhaling into upward dog, exhaling into downward dog. So just whatever suits your level of practice, your level of energy today. Try to tune into what will serve you rather than what you think is the right thing to do. Sometimes when the energy is low, a little bit more vigorous of a practice can be beneficial. And sometimes it really requires that you listen to that and rest. And then on the next exhale, we're all going to come into a downward facing dog. The hands will be a little bit in front of the shoulders. You'll curl the toes and lift the hips and push them back. And then roll the elbows back toward the knees. Press the fingertips forward. Press the thighs back. Release the head and chest down. Slow, long breaths, inhaling, feeling the length in the spine. Exhaling, lifting the belly toward the spine, pressing the heels toward the floor. And on your next inhale, lift the left leg, look forward. Exhale, step the foot up between the hands. And again, you have options here. You can stay like this in runner's lunge. You can bring the knee down, coming into a nice deep lunge that way. You can come into a high lunge, lifting your body off the ground. And then you can do any arm position that you like. So maybe you want the hands behind your back. Maybe you like the arms straight up in the air. Maybe you like to take the Venus lock and lock the thumbs and pull them apart. If your back knee is off the ground, your back leg should be straight, really pushing back through that heel, and then we'll all try to bring the tailbone forward, lifting the breath up into the chest, sinking the body down as we relax into that exhale. And then if the arms are up, bring them down. And we'll take weight in that right hand and then turn and lift the left arm up. Roll the ribs and look up. Get the breath to come all the way up into the chest. Again, if the knee wants to be on the ground, it can be. And we'll bring the left hand down and then take the right arm up. And if your back knee is on the ground here, you might want to bring if your back knee is off the ground, you might want to bring your back heel onto the ground for this. Opening up under those ribs with the breath. Drop the hips all the way down, really stretching long from the back foot to the front knee. And again, the knee can be on the ground here. It's perfectly fine. You still want that length from the knee to the knee. Beautiful. And then we'll bring the right hand down. If the back heel is down, lifted. If the back knee is down, lifted. We're going to step that back foot up about a foot, close enough that you can bring the heel to the ground. And then if your hands don't touch the ground, that's totally fine. You can rest them on your shin, or hopefully you have some props that you can use. And we're just going to point and flex that front foot. So more important than the hands coming to the ground is that the leg is straight. It's just a little bit of a balance act if you don't have anything to hold on to. Okay. Now let the foot rest down. Inhale and reach your chest as far away from your hips as you can. Pull your left hip back. Nice long breath. And then as you exhale, scoop your belly in and up and relax your head down over that leg. Slowly breathing in, slowly releasing out, relaxing the weight of the body over the leg. The hands are touching down. Let them touch gently so you're not putting weight into your hands and holding yourself up. And we'll try another twist here, lifting the head, getting the body parallel to the ground. And the right hand is going to come either close to that left foot, on top of the left foot if you need that extra inch or so, or over the left foot if you have that flexibility. And then the left hand is going to come onto the hip. And as we inhale, we're going to pull back through the hip and forward through the chest, stretching the spine long. And then as we exhale, we're going to roll the belly up and to the left, the ribs down, turn the head up, and then let that left arm lift up toward the sky. Revolve triangle. And bring the hand down, bend that front knee, plant the hands, step the left foot all the way back, the right foot all the way back, coming into downward dog or resting in child's pose if you're needing a rest. If you're in child's pose, join us when you're ready. And then with an inhale, we'll lift the right leg and look forward. Exhale, step it up between the hands or help it up if you need. And then we're going to drop the hips. And then if you want to drop the knee and relax the back toes, feel free to do that. The ankle needs to line up under the knee. So I know a lot of times I see this even in like yoga advertisements. They have this posture like this, and it's not really as helpful and not as safe for the knee. So have the ankle under the knee, please. And that's true whether the back knee is on the ground or not. And then the arms can stay down, that you can lift up. You can take any arm variation that you like, ideally what you did on the other side. And if you happen to have your hands in Venus lock or clasp behind you, then just do the opposite way. And if your leg is straight, really press back through the heel. And then we'll all make an effort to aim the tailbone forward. If the arms are lifted, the shoulders come down. The breath comes up into the chest for all of us. Belly, ribs, chest. And then if the hands are lifted, bring them down, taking weight into that left hand. Roll the belly to the right, like you're aiming your left ribs for your right knee, and then send the right arm up. Gazing up at your thumb, and you can have the eyes closed. Just direct your gaze that way. Feel the breath opening the body and relaxing the body. Opening, relaxing. That's more important than the perfection of the posture. So if you're doing a posture that's too challenging for you to be able to breathe deep and slow, please dial it down. And then we'll bring that right hand down. If the back heel is lifted, you might want to bring it to the ground. If the knee is on the ground, feel free to stay there. And we'll roll and open to the left. Gazing up, And then really sink the hips down here. So almost like you're in a long split. And then bring the hand down. If the back knee is down, lift it up. And we'll step that back leg forward about a foot or so. And then we'll point and flex that front foot. And again, if you can't touch the ground and have the leg straight, it would be super helpful if you grab something to rest on either side of your foot to help your hands find balance that way. Books work, soup cans, anything really. And then we'll let the foot come down. Lift the torso so that it's parallel to the ground and pull back with the right hip and forward through the chest. Inhale into that length and then exhale. Bring the belly in. Relax the head down. Let the arms relax. And if the hands are touching down on something, let the touch be light. Let the elbows be soft. Let the breath be long. And then lift your head again, getting parallel to the ground to the extent that you can. And then bring that left hand as close to your right foot as you're able to, maybe on top of, or perhaps even crossing over. And the right hand is going to come to the hip. Don't be in a hurry to bring it to the air. Take your time, hand to hip. I'm going to inhale and pull back through the hip and forward through the chest, getting nice and long. And then exhale and roll the belly to the right, bringing those ribs under and then sending that right arm up. If you can, gazing up at the thumb. And bring the hand down. Step the back foot forward. Let the knees bend. Try to rest your chest on or toward your thighs. Let your head relax down. Take some deep breaths here with the knees bent and the body relaxing over the legs. See if that makes some space in your back. And then if you want, you can clasp your hands and lift them up overhead. And then notice which thumb is on the outside before you release the hands. If you've chosen to do a clasp, then we'll let go of the hands and roll up slowly, one vertebra at a time. Taking the arms up. Inhale, reaching up. And then bring the palms together. Bend the elbows. And bring the thumbs to the upper back. Inhale, reaching up through the elbows. Exhale, sliding down with the thumbs. And inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands together at the heart. Being with your breath. Relax the hands. Stay with your breath. Bend your knees. And let your weight shift into your left foot with the knee bent. Inhale the arms out to the side. Exhale the right arm under the left. Then move the backs of the hands toward each other. If you can wrap the hands around each other. Inhale, bring the elbows forward. Exhale, send the elbows up. You might even rest the hands on your forehead. Eyes are open, looking past your hands. And know that as we come into the balancing pose, the hands will serve as a rudder. So if you have a sense that you're about to fall to the left, you can press to the right, just ever so slightly so you don't fall to the right. And then let your eyes gaze at one spot in front of you, knowing that it will probably move a little bit as we lift the foot up, because the body will turn slightly as we come into the posture. Right leg comes up, bending deeply into the left leg. Cross the leg over. If you're able to hook the foot behind, go ahead. The body might be turned a little bit to the left. And then sit down. Really let your sit bones drop as your elbows lift, feeling that nice length. And breathe into it. Draw the belly in, can help release the back. Focus on your breath to help release your thoughts. Beautiful. And relax. Let go. Take a deep breath in through the nose, let it out of the mouth. And then bending the knees again. Starting to feel the weight sinking into that right leg. Centering your mind, feeling your breath, focusing your gaze. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, left arm under right. Move the backs of the hands toward each other, or to each other, or around each other. Looking straight ahead, bending into that knee. Lift the left leg and cross it over the right one. Sitting down, maybe hooking the foot behind if that's available. Really lengthening the back, dropping the sit bones. Again, using your arms to counter any sense of leaning one way or the other. using your breath to make space and to steady your mind. Lifting the elbows. And release. And go ahead and shake the body out. Shake it out. Let the breath release. Beautiful. And set the legs wide apart. And the hands can be at the hips. They can be out to the side. They can be straight down or they can be overhead. Overhead is the hardest. We're going to exhale and fold halfway forward, hovering above the ground. If the arms are back, it's much easier. So really take care of yourself however you need to. And then we'll release the hands down. If they happen to touch the floor, walk them back so that the fingertips are in the same line as the toe tips. And then inhale and get the body straight, parallel to the ground, and then exhale and fold, pressing forward with the fingertips, pulling up through the thighs, up through the belly, relaxing the head down. Drop the left hip, lifting the right hand. Drop the right hip, lifting the left hip. And come back to the center. Walk the hands forward. You can bend the knees if you need to get the hands to touch the ground. Bring the heels in, bring the toes in, bring the heels in, bring the toes in, and bend the knees, squatting down, coming onto your backs. And we'll come right down onto our backs. We'll plant the feet hip width apart under the knees, and the hands alongside the hips with the palms facing down. Breathing belly, ribs, chest. Pressing into the feet, lift the hips. Pressing into the arms, lift the ribs. Roll the shoulders under one at a time. And if you're able to clasp your hands, remember which thumb was on the outside earlier and do it the other way. And if you don't remember, just see which way you want to do it and do it the other way. And if your hands don't clasp under, it can be helpful to hold on to the outer edges of your mat and pull away from you with the hands. And if the hands are clasped, it can be helpful to pull them apart. And then press forward into the feet to lift the hips.
Press into the upper arms to lift the ribs. See if you can open the chest with your breath. And then release the hands and slowly lower down. And we're going to come up into a bridge again, or for those who want the challenging option, we're going to come up into a full wheel. So for the wheel, the position starts the same. The arms come overhead with the hands tucked under so that you can get the hands onto the ground. And then when you push into the feet, you also push into the hands and come up onto your head. You may not be able to get any further, but you may want to practice there. And if you can, you push into your hands and straighten your arms. Those of you who want, you'll just do the bridge again. And if you want an option, just so that it doesn't feel like the same pose, you can bring your feet closer to you and wrap your hands around your ankles and then come up that way. Or just do the same pose. If you're up in the wheel, lower your head down, and then we'll all lower the hips down. And then lift the feet. Bring the hands onto the thighs. Take a breath in. And then when you exhale, press the thighs into the hands and the hands into the thighs and the belly into the floor. Then relax the feet down. Lift the hips, tuck them under. Release the legs and shake them out. If you have an eye pillow, you can place that on your eyes now. And we'll let the arms rest out away from the body. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the body into the ground. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the weight of the jaw down. Letting the lips slightly part. Inhale deep. Exhale out of the mouth. Releasing the activity of the mind, letting go of words and images, past and future. Just landing right here in the present by focusing your attention gently on the breath. And then let go of the breath as well, so that it's just doing its thing. And you're just along for the ride, watching without judgment, without interference, without distraction if possible. And if the mind does get distracted and wanders away from the breath, no problem. At some point, you'll wake up and you'll realize, oh, I'm somewhere else. And then just come back to the breath again and try to stay there as long as you can, coming back again and again, deeply relaxed, letting go, letting go, letting go. Breathe into your heart, move fingers and toes. Reach the arms overhead, take a deep breath, stretch long. Hug the knees to the chest, rocking gently side to side, feeling the ground massaging your back. And then come center and rub hand to hand and foot to foot, waking up the energy in the body. And then roll to either side, resting your head on your underside arm, resting your body on the ground, feeling the support of the earth, feeling the support of your practice. And then slowly press yourself up into any comfortable seated posture. Sinking down into the sit bones, lifting tall through the crown of the head. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale the hands together at the heart. Inhale, lift the heart up to the hands. Exhale, shoulders relax down.
Inhale deeply, breathing in from bottom to top. Take it all in and let it all go. Drop the chin to the chest. Namaste.